Hello, assalamu alaikum, good morning, khushamdi, ji ayanu, goedemorgen.
Pakhair agale, ni hao, tune shumme, washmale, ohai, gonzaimus, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, hale shamachatore, ahlan wa sahlan, marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, suaviab, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very fabulous, the very full of energy early in the morning today, Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you today?
I'm doing absolutely great. Thank you for asking. Just a little bit of the issue. So,
Yeah.
our hair dryer stopped working here in the studios, and I'm a little extra cold today. What about you, though?
Well, I'm not really very well, and so I had an injury back in the gym as well, and I'm just trying to cope up with that. So, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, I missed out yesterday as well. So I'm very sorry for that.
No problem.
For all of those people who are out there. But since we have a very packed show today, so I think that we should talk less and we should be in conversation with our guest without any further ado.
Okay.
But just a simple message, ladies and gentlemen, and that simple message is, first of all, Jummah Mubarak.
Yes.
And for everybody who's out there, please make sure that you remember us, our entire team, in your prayers as well. But other than that, I think that if you make somebody's life beautiful by going out of the way, that will definitely come back as a blessing by Allah Almighty as well. And I think that you're going to reap the fruit of it as well. So please make sure that if you can, go out of your way to do something nicer for somebody.
Yeah, but never do anything for someone, you know, for expectations. I mean, you never expect or want something in return because Allah is going to pay you in reward at the worst of times, probably when you don't even expect it to work out for you. So, I mean, just be nice to everyone, be kind to everyone without any reward or expectation of reward.
Yeah, but very sorry, but very quickly, I think I'm going to say that what just Shiza said, I don't think that you really need to apply that if you are a husband and wife, you know. So I think that the husband and wife relationship only works out if you expect from each other.
Okay.
So yeah, so other than the husband and wife, you can pretty much do anything you want to do. But that's
no comments.
Yeah, but that's great. But today, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day, and it's because of the fact that when I was in my college, I was taken to Kala Bagh to a skiing resort as well.
Oh, wow.
And I did a 3-day course, which kind of changed my life. And now I have another skill. I think that I'm going to call it a skill as well, but the facility was wonderful.
Yeah.
And whenever we talk about winters, I think that, you know, we look forward to skiing, and a lot of tourists are actually coming to Pakistan to ski and participate in the Winter Games Festival as well.
Absolutely, that's true. And Shahzad, you know, one of my sort of class fellows, a batchmates from the university, she used to be an international skier. We were so proud of her. We were actually sort of inspired and then curious of what she does as well. Because first of all, she belonged to the northern areas as well. And then she was practicing all her life, and then she was now representing Pakistan too. It was, I mean, a moment of pride for all of us, yes. But we really wanted to do that too. I feel like it does require a lot of skill. Now that you've been there as well, I feel like you really have to be trained for that too. But remaining in the category of winter sports, I have actually tried ice skating, not figure skating. Ice skating, and that too in Sheffield somewhere. I mean, back then.
Ice skating is difficult, but skiing is very different. You know, these are two different sports, but ladies and gentlemen, at the same time, I think today what we're trying to do is that we're trying to project that over here in Pakistan, we have a lot of winter sports and very well managed and very well organized, and it's because of the fact that the Winter Sports Federation is actually headed by the Air Force as well. And other than that, I think we really need to dig in, because from the 23rd, the Sadiya Khan Cup is actually starting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of the categories if we talk about skiing as well, but there are other categories. We'll be in conversation with people who are looking after it and who are actually taking a lot of people with them too as well from 23rd onwards. So let's see whether we get to go or not. But ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, we've actually been joined by somebody who started his career as a GDP, but now ended up, handling media affairs as well. Why so? This is something very different. Because all my life I always wanted to be GDP, couldn't get my admission, but it's perfectly all right.
Yeah.
Here I am interviewing GDP as well. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, you've actually been joined by Commodore Mr. Ali as well. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam, Shahzad. Thank you very much. A very good morning to you both. And what a wonderful
introduction.
time and introduction. Yes. First of all, I would like to thank you and the Pakistan Television on behalf of Pakistan Air Force having us on your show. It's always a pleasure coming to PTV. Yes, I've joined initially as a fighter pilot. Been flying throughout my life. but somehow I had a passion for music and media.
Wow.
And that's what, brought me as Director of Media Affairs.
Yes.
And I've been a spokesperson and Director of Media Affairs for about 3 years. And then even after my retirement, I've been recalled as an advisor to Vice Chief of the Air Staff.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And I'm here again.
And it's good to have you. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll definitely talk a little more. But we have with us Women of Steel, and it's because of the fact that other than they rendering their duties for the Pakistan Air Force, they actually participate in these festivals and in sports competitions as well. And not that they have actually participated in just national arenas as well, but they have done it internationally, and we're very proud of them. And I think that a lot of ladies can take inspiration from these amazing ladies over here. So, ladies and gentlemen, alongside Air Commodore Ali Saab as well, we have been joined by Squad Leader Nadir as well. Hello, Assalamu Alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
And alongside her, ladies and gentlemen, we've actually been joined by Squad Leader Farhana as well. Hello, Assalamu Alaikum, ma'am. How are you?
Walaikum Assalam. I'm good, thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's so lovely, when you talk to people who are in uniform, they're always so disciplined. So I had all this energy. Hello, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum. Hi, how are you? I think it's great. So let's get it started. Tell us a little about the Winter Sports Federation and then the Sadia Khan Cup and the categories it involves. Please go ahead.
Okay. Pakistan Air Force has been mentoring and patronizing a lot of sports activities, and in particular, I would like to talk about the winter sports and the squash, which is with Pakistan Air Force is patronizing. As far as the winter sports is concerned, the Pakistan Air Force is now holding a winter sports festival. And which the season has just kicked off, and it is from like 23rd of December to like last week of Feb. It's going to continue. It's a very long. It's a packed season. Lot of activity, lot of fun filled. Lot of international players have been coming. Coming back to the history of it, all this started in 1958 when young Flight Lieutenant Shah Khan, who belonged to the same area.
Exactly.
And he was tasked to develop a snow survival school. Fighter flying or flying itself is a very challenging task, and you never know. And Pakistan is such a beautiful country. It's blessed with all kinds of terrains.
Absolutely.
And we have sea, we have deserts, we have mountains, we have snow-clad mountains.
Right.
So you are flying all kinds of terrain. But God forbid if you run into some kind of problem, and you have to abandon the aircraft. In fighters, you have to eject.
Exactly.
So you never know what kind of terrain you're going to end up into. So you, as a pilot, you have to be ready to survive. You have to have those survival skills and instincts. So that's exactly what is taught in the survival schools. So Shah Khan was tasked to develop a survival school, a snow survival school. And in that, he also, introduced alpine skiing, utilizing the slopes which were available. So that was very wise of him. And that was the time when, the foundation of the skiing in Pakistan was being laid. And this facility developed to 1962, where that was the time he introduced installed some chairlifts in the area. So that was like formally introducing the sport of alpine ski in Pakistan. And then it developed, and in 1990, Winter Sports, Ski Federation of Pakistan was made, which was then formally changed into Winter Sports Federation. And now this is Winter Sports Federation is headed by Vice Chief of the Air Force, currently Air Marshal Asim Zahir, who is Vice Chief of the Air Staff. He's President of Ski Federation of Pakistan. And so he's the Patron Chief, and the Chief of the Air Staff is also very keen about all this. And so it's been monitored by the Air Force, this entire activity.
All right, that's great. I really do want to, ask about the terrain and the types of slopes that we have in Pakistan. But before that, moving on to you, ma'am, Squadron Leader Nadia. Now, you have been participating in this event, not this year particularly, but before this, yes, and internationally too. How did you end up doing this?
If we go back in 2004, I went for snow survival course.
Okay.
Along with GDPs, other branches also get a chance to, go for these courses. So skiing is part of that course, and I got a chance to learn skiing there. Obviously, the credit goes to my seniors who inspired us, and our instructors who trained us so well that it was my very first time. But I realized that it is the most exciting sport I've ever come across.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And you didn't expect that actually.
no,
Yeah,
no.
it is very
It's just
thrilling,
meeting right people with the right skills at the right time,
Exactly.
place, and you
True.
know.
And
So
that's
it was
great.
like that.
Yeah.
And sorry.
It's all right. I just couldn't figure out whether she stopped talking or not. But I think that there's only one point which I wanted to add over here, and that is that, you very rightly said that, there were a group of people who were going and they were doing this, so I got a chance.
Yeah.
Now there's a group of people who are going from PTV as
Just
well,
what's sorry.
from PTV as well, but we don't know whether we're
Yeah,
going to get a
it's
chance
okay.
or not.
It's-
But Shiza, it's going to be so much fun that you cannot even imagine. Skiing is really fun. I've done it myself, but it's great.
True.
Let me move on to Ms. Farhana as well. So, ma'am, what about you? How did you get into skiing as well?
Well, I've started skiing in 2003, and my commission was in 2002. So, like at the beginning of my career, I also started skiing as well. So it's been like 16 or 17 years that I'm associated with Ski Federation
Oh,
of
wow.
Pakistan, which is now Winter Sports Federation of
Yes.
Pakistan. And as you are saying, you people must come, and you are welcome to come there, and you'll definitely have a great thrill there.
We have no doubt in that. All right. So before, again, I get into the details of the area as well, very quickly, I want any of you to tell me, other than skiing, what other sports are we expecting from this? Whatever this is going on, festival that is going on from December till February, right? Yeah. Yes.
We are having different disciplines in winter sports, and they are like we are recently introduced in 2017. There are ice skating competitions, then there are snowboarding competitions, and now we are having figure skating competitions.
Wow.
So it's going to expand with the passage of time.
All right. Good luck in that.
Which is why I'm going to come back to Alisa over here. So, Alisa, obviously when we speak about Air Force or forces in general, we have always seen and witnessed that, whenever they take over something, they'll do it with par excellence as well,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is great. So, providing people with chairlifts and, all of these facilities and then traveling and lodging, that definitely might interest a lot of foreigners as well. And it attracts a lot of foreigners, and they're in love with the northern areas of Pakistan anyways. So what kind of tourism figures are we looking at over here? How many heads come from, different parts of the world and participate in this festival?
Okay, let me tell you, there are two events which are international events in this ski season.
Yeah.
And last time we have about 40 odd foreigners. This time also the number has increased.
Yeah.
And so many are interested in coming to Pakistan, because that myth of Pakistan being unsafe is all gone.
yeah.
And I'll tell you an example.
cricket's on in
I'll take
Pakistan,
this example. We just the Pakistan Air Force again. We just held a marathon of 50 kilometers marathon in Khunjra.
Yeah.
And there were like 60 foreigners which participated, and they were so excited and full of energy and so keen. So, the sports like cricket is happening these days, and skiing is happening. A lot of international sportsmen coming to Pakistan.
Right.
So it's a very, very festive occasion. It's a good message for the entire world that Pakistan is beautiful as it is, and Pakistan is very safe.
Yeah.
We provide them all kind of facilities. Naltar, the number of slopes, Naltar and Malam Jaba are two internationally qualified slopes that we have. There are many others. There's one in Chitral, there is one in Kashmir, there is one very small, where you started your skiing, it was in Calabar.
Calabar, yes.
So all these facilities are there to be used,
Yeah.
and northern areas are so beautiful.
Right.
We have very recently installed a 1.5 kilometer chairlift at Naltar,
Oh, wow.
which is so scenic and it is so beautiful. And Naltar is only 2 hours away from Gilgit. So anybody who wants to witness these, yes, but of course, will not be able to lodge them for obvious reasons, because the
Right,
facilities
right.
are limited though.
Yeah.
But they are there, so they can come, they can witness the event, and they can go back.
Wow.
Because
And that's great as well. But ladies and gentlemen, the kind of gear you need to use, when you're out there, and the temperatures are so harsh as well. For me, when I went, they gave me the skis as well. They gave me the clothes as well. They gave me everything.
Yeah.
So is that how it works,
That's
or
how
everybody
it
has to get them?
No. That's we provide them.
Wow.
And all this. Yes, the international skiers, they bring their own gear.
Yeah.
But for most of the Pakistanis and all those who are participating in those events, all what is essential for skiing
Yeah.
is provided by the ski
And
federation.
how
We are
can
providing
anybody
it,
participate?
we are providing it free of cost.
Wow.
Oh wow, that's
the main
amazing.
thing.
Yeah,
Because in
that's
other
what I
coun-
meant.
because in other countries, if you go and get the equipment, you have to pay for
Yeah.
the rent.
Oh,
But
okay.
in Pakistan, we are just to promote the skiing. We
Yeah.
are giving these equipment to all the people who are coming there just to promote it.
Exactly.
I think
Free
that's a
of
very
cost.
good initiative. Also, it does attract a lot of people,
Yes,
not
it
only
does.
from Pakistan,
It
but
does.
from around the globe. Well, this gets bigger and better every year. What are your expectations from this one, this year particularly?
In particular, Sadiq
Who's
Khan.
The
winning
entire
this
event,
one?
yes,
Yeah.
the Sadiq Khan Cup.
Sadiq Khan Ski Cup is basically about two disciplines. It has slalom and giant slalom. So all the skiers coming there, they are there to participate in those two events.
Okay.
And these are like the only difference between these two is that in slalom, the gates are more closely spaced, so
okay.
they need more shorter and quicker turns. So
Okay.
you have to be more technical in that. And in giant slalom, it is like it is more about speed
Yeah.
Okay.
and all.
All right.
So-
and I think for a lot of people who don't know out there, I think it's our duty to inform
The
them
trainers
as well.
are already there on the slope
Okay.
every time, and whoever they are new skiers also sometimes, so they are there to train them before the cup starts.
All right.
Like almost a week before they
We
start
are
training
even
or 10
having an
days.
international coach from Switzerland
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Greece.
that's perfect.
Yes.
But ma'am, I also want you to tell everyone out there, Sadia Khan Cup, when you say that, why is it named so?
Well, it's Sadia Khan was a skier who won national championship in 2002, and she was a very enthusiast skier and an engineer as well. But she died in road accident, and then after that, the name was named on her name. That is Sadia Khan Cup.
Yeah,
That's
and-
why.
and
Otherwise,
we
it's
have a video of
national ladies national
Yes.
championship.
Right, to commemorate
she's
her
right on
services as
television.
well.
May her soul rest in peace as well. And it's great that that such a cup is actually named after a legend of such sort as well, which is
Yeah.
great. But now, sir, let's come towards who can participate and who cannot. I mean, so how does it work? Because you said that the facility is limited, so not everybody can come to that point. And since we are speaking about it on television, so there might be a lot of people who might be interested, who can participate, and what is the process of participating?
The Winter Sports Federation, obviously the Air Force is patronizing, but they are under the umbrella of Winter Sports Federation. There are about 18 or more organizations which are the members of this federation, and they bring their teams like Army, Navy, WAPDA, and the provinces have their own teams, and there are other organizations which sponsor their own teams. So that's one thing. Otherwise, also you can register on the site of Winter Sports Federation, and you have all the details available, and you can then subsequently join, and the facility is free of cost. We have the talent, we'll promote it.
Wow, that's just
and that's
amazing.
great. But since you mentioned about the teams as well, so I was just hosting this ceremony, National Games closing ceremony in Peshawar, and Army won overall, and it was because of the fact that they had 900 athletes that they have brought with them as well. So obviously, and even Babda had 750 athletes as well.
All right.
So the number of people participating does really matter. But what is the take-home prize as well? For somebody who's going to win the cup, is it just the cup? Is there any money involved in it as well? Any cash prizes?
Whatever
Let's
the
motivate
incentive.
people.
The cup, the prize, the medal that you get, that's very prestigious.
Yes. Of
course.
The event is very prestigious. You are amongst the participating among the company of one of the finest athletes.
Exactly.
So you get a gold medal or you get a silver or a bronze. It itself is a lot of pride.
But
And
there,
it- Yeah, and
there's
even
a prize money.
Yeah.
There's a prize money for gold, silver, and bronze. I
Oh,
don't
that's
want to
amazing.
mention.
But even if there was
they
none,
were-
just
because
saying.
it's different for different competitions. Like
Yeah.
for international ski, the competitions we have different prices, and then for the nationals we have different.
And are you ready for the for whichever sport you are participating in? you guys are obviously going to participate in the alpine skiing.
Yes,
Is that what
alpine
we call it,
skiing.
right? So are you guys prepared?
Yes, of
Are you
course.
sure?
Wow,
So are
I
you
like
guys
the
going to win this time
confidence.
around as well?
Anytime.
Okay. All right, I love the confidence. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, even if you cannot participate, I really want at least everyone who's watching right now to first of all be interested in this and then at least go witness. Because when you said there's a chairlift as well, I was sold. I would come there anytime, to be honest, because I absolutely love watching the natural beauty
But
of
it's not that
Pakistan.
chairlift which you're thinking about. It's a chairlift which take the skiers up and bring them down as
Can
well.
I just
think.
like
There's another one
Yeah.
as well.
Another one. That's
Yes.
what I was
Wow.
Yeah,
saying.
go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a new chairlift.
Yeah.
There's one which drags the skiers.
Yeah.
You know, you
Right,
stand on the
right.
skis and it takes you
and
up.
jump off you.
But yeah. But there's another one like what you have in Patriata.
Okay.
It doesn't
Oh,
have those cables,
amazing.
but the open kind of things that is there. It takes it
You
is
can just
beautiful.
sit and have a ride
picturesque.
in it. There's no
Oh,
problem.
I'd love to
It's
do
not
that.
necessary that you can come back.
Yeah, you can go there without skis as well.
Wow.
See,
yeah,
top of
see,
the
that's
slope,
great.
yeah.
So, ladies and
Pakistan
gentlemen,
is amazing.
Yeah, I think that we really need to go as well. We
Yeah.
really need to go as well. I think that's what I'm saying. But thank you very much for joining us. It
Thank
was
you so
wonderful
much.
to have you.
Pleasure.
All the best to you athletes
Thank
as
you.
well. And make sure that you win the cup. You know,
Thank you.
one of you is going to win, but the other one obviously going to win the silver or the bronze as well.
But I have a question before you do wrap up,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Now,
okay.
I absolutely love women representation and women participation in any sorts of sports, actually. Can you tell me the number, a rough estimate of the women that are participating as well, and how you encourage specifically women in coming up and doing this?
Well, every time the number of skiers increase, the women and children both. So sometimes it's like between 20 to 30 and it increases.
All right.
Yeah, like approximately it remains within 30 to 35,
Let me-
keeping
let
in with
me-
the
let me-
But
capacity.
with the
Yeah.
passage of time,
Yeah.
it is increasing
Increase.
because
Obviously.
we are also organizing intervarsity competitions
Okay.
other than Sadia Khan Cup.
Okay.
And then we are having a Naltar ski school where girls from that local area are also learning skiing. And that is a big achievement for us because
course.
from that area, because of the cultural aspects, they don't allow their ladies to ski. But when they saw us and other people skiing on the slopes, they were encouraged and they sent their girls and little girls, and they are basically the future of Pakistan because they are young and they are learning, and inshallah they'll compete in the Winter Olympics and everything.
Exactly.
No doubt in
Let,
that,
let,
of
me,
course.
let me tell you, this time it's around 120 participants who's applied for Sadia Khan Cup.
Wow.
Yes, it's a
a
very
huge
encouraging number.
Of course.
And they're going to be shortlisted, and somewhere around 80, 85 is the figure that's going to go and participate in it. It's a very encouraging number.
Exactly,
All
and
right.
that's great. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we definitely have to head out towards a short break. But when we guys are going to come back,
Yeah.
I'm very sorry. I have two things to ask.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, when I went for my skiing course as well, number one is very dangerous. That's why it's called very thrilling or adventurous as well.
Right.
People can fall and people can get injured as well. So the
Okay.
kind of paramedics we might need over there at that point, do we have that or not? And then other than that, when we say that, that the kind of slopes we have are actually according to the international standards, what are the international standards? Let's check it out. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning.
Welcome back to World This Morning with the very energetic Shahzad Khan and Shahzad Hashmi, ladies and gentlemen, on a beautiful and a happy and a cold, pleasant Friday morning. We're headed into a weekend, thus we're happy, regardless of the fact that we even work on weekends. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching the first segment, we're still on to it. We are today talking about the Winter Sports Federation of Pakistan that is organizing this Winter Fest, in which Sadia Khan Cup is going to take place in terms of, alpine skiing and so many other winter sports too.
Exactly. And ladies and gentlemen, before going towards the break, I had these two questions because, and I said it and I've mentioned it quite a lot of times, even today as well, that I actually attended a ski course as well, which was for beginners. But even when it was for beginners, we, a few of us, we did had a fall. We kind of had, banged on. People were just hitting each other as well because we didn't have actually control on our skis and we weren't so good with that. And at that point of time, so the only thing we had was probably a muscle heat cream or something of that sort, but nothing other than that. But when we speak about such competitions, obviously we do need people who are trained for sports medicine as well. So what kind of apparatus do we have?
Let me put you at ease.
Yes.
If you've come a long way, and just from those, cold sprays or something, I think that now we have full medic cover.
Oh, wow. Perfect.
And evacuation system and very well trained staff in sports medicine. And because that's one of the requirements to hold an international cup.
Right.
So we have all those facilities that are available. Hospitals are nearby. And in case the injuries of the nature that the athlete has to be evacuated, so we are fully geared.
Well,
that's good news.
Yeah, it is good news. And now, since we mentioned international standards quite a lot of times, so I just wanted to ask you, what are the international standards of getting such a festival done away in Pakistan? And when especially we speak about the slopes, when we speak about the kind of environment we need to provide in terms that the competition can take place, what are those standards?
It's the length of the slope that matters. It's the gradient and the snow conditions, of course. And all things are checked in time. And the Pakistani slopes have met these criteria, and since 2017, international races are being conducted here.
Oh wow, that's great.
It's 1.5 kilometers.
1.5 kilometers long.
Yeah.
What is the average speed a skier might get on over a 1.5 kilometer slope?
It depends on its expertise.
And different events.
If you are like out of control, you can gain any speed.
Basically, alpine skiing is about 4 events. So in slalom, you have to be, as I told, that their gates are at
closer.
Short distance. So you need to be more technical in that. And speed will make you, lose the game. Whereas in giant slalom, super G and downhill is the most fastest. You need to have speed in those games. So it matters which event you are participating in.
Exactly. And I think that, I still remember from back in the day that when you were supposed to control the speed of the skier, you had to turn them inside a little bit, I think.
But wouldn't you, I would twist my legs and just fall.
And, on the right side of the ski, you have this blade kind of thing which helps you, going up the mountain as well. Only if there are no lifts, but there are lifts now, so I think that it's going to be very interesting and fascinating as well.
But that helps in warming up.
Helps
in warming up? If you walk up?
Warm up.
But it's very difficult, it takes the entire breath out.
It makes the muscles which are actually needed for that skiing, your leg muscles, those are improved if you try with the skis up without lift.
But
not at the top, but at the middle of the
they're only improved, you'll get to know that they've improved after you're done with the course. So there's no point. And thank God, ladies and gentlemen, the kind of facility we're talking about, is equipped with the state-of-the-art stuff. We've mentioned about the lifts as well. We mentioned about the kind of hospitals or the paramedics we have over there. So I think that I just want to go right now. I think that we should
and
just
the other
leave.
facilities of heating is very important there after sunset. So heating system is very good in Naltan now. We have a special kind of those heaters which are available there, and then you can have warm showers there. And
warm showers,
which is a blessing there. After,
I think that's what everybody needs. I think at least I needed, because once I went camping, and we were fishing out there as well, and we didn't have anywhere to sleep, so I had to manage it in the car. I managed it very well, but next morning, obviously a shower was required, but we didn't have anywhere to go. So the only thing we did was we packed our bags, came back home, took a shower, felt fine, and that was great.
But I think that is one of the very important things
Very
one
important.
needs.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So you mentioned that around 200 entries you got this year, which is an amazing number. Inshallah, it will keep on increasing. But do you consider all of them? I mean, are there certain prerequisites or an eligibility criterion of who can apply or not?
Okay. For Sadia Khan, we are in, this is say an introductory kind of a thing, and it is to encourage children, young children, to get into this sport. So we invite people or kids to come for this. When they are willing to come, and even if they don't know skiing, we teach them to
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
and a competition is held. They're the categories of the ladies who are skiers, so they participate in the cups. But to encourage the children and to develop the sport, and so we encourage them to come to Naltar, ski with us. We teach them, and then they can participate. And maybe next year, when they're more ready for it, they can participate in the event.
So you're saying the only prerequisite here is
Your will.
motivation.
Yes,
Your will,
motivation.
exactly.
No, so is it like, for somebody, for example, when I used to go learn swimming, the coach never let me go into the deeper
Deep
side
pool.
of the pool. And so I used to be somewhere around 4 feet, and all of a sudden when you know how to swim, you are allowed to go to the deeper place.
Right.
Which is why, when we're speaking about skiing, obviously, Khuda na khasta, we do not want any mishaps to happen. And if there are a lot of kids which are involved, they might run somewhere here and there, and, the parents lose control as well because they're busy, everybody's enjoying. So how do we make sure that no accidents take place and that there are no other extra people onto the slopes as well, so that nobody gets injured?
Okay, the number of slopes there.
Yeah.
There's slope for the beginners,
Okay.
and there's slopes where these professional races are held.
All right.
So you don't just put them because the gradient is quite steep.
Yeah.
So you just don't go on that. It's called white bore. So it's a very steep kind of a slope.
Yeah.
So the slope which is called as kindergarten KG slope, where you learn how to ski. So it's a stepwise process, and then you improve upon your skills, and then you go to a higher gradient slope.
Yeah.
All right. So I have another question again because,
Yeah.
well, this show is all about questions. We're so really interested in this one. We really
I'm
hope we get
enjoying
to
it
see
today.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I feel like we wait for, this part of the year to come and to hold this festival as well. But do you guys plan on, or do you guys already have this thing, the Winter Federation, where you train people, whoever is interested in, training probably professionals of the future as well, and then make them participate in international events as well?
And is training free of cost?
Yes, it is. We have our sportsmen or our athletes
Yeah.
which were enrolled in the PF. They have participated in Winter Olympics,
Okay.
and one of them participated in Sochi Winter Olympics.
wow.
So they've come to that level, and they are regularly participating in international events.
Oh, wow.
That's
Even one
great.
of our athlete who is deaf, he's from Civil Aviation Authority. He's representing Pakistan in Deaf Olympics these days.
Wow.
He's deaf.
That's so inspirational.
It's just superb. And ladies and gentlemen, just, because we're talking about different sports over here as well. We're talking about snowboarding, we're talking about ice skating as well. And since it's the season, so why not, snow polo or something of that sort as well? I think
Is there
that
such
can
a
be
thing?
done, right?
No,
Not
we
yet.
don't have horses with
I've never-
skis.
No, that's not what I'm saying, because they do it in Kailash. They do it in Kailash, so
That's
when it snows over there, they play snow polo or snow golf as well. So I think that can be very interesting as well, no?
Try it when we take you there.
When you say snow golf, do you mean hockey?
You can play ice hockey.
We
Yeah,
can
I
play
like
ice
Ice
hockey, yes.
Exactly, and that's great too as well. But all you need is just a team. But I have one simple question as a civilian, and that question. I'm sorry that I'm very sorry that I have to pose it to you. But since we have asked you multiple times who can apply and what is the criteria, what is the eligibility, I think that at the back of our heads it's only one thing, that if it is something governed by or run by an armed force, not anybody or everybody can be a part of it. The criteria is very selective. So is that the feel of this winter festival?
Yes, let me tell you, it is the Winter Ski Federation is patronized by Pakistan Air Force.
Yeah.
But it's not Pakistan Air Force. There are many other organizations which falls under its umbrella.
All right.
And through them also you can join, like civil aviation, like army, like the
Adventure
provinces,
Foundation.
adventure foundations, the
Then we
team
have
for the
Sindh,
each province.
Sindh ski associations,
Punjab
different
Ski Association,
associations and
KPK,
clubs.
Gilgit.
Oh, wow.
You have to
Very
apply through those associations which are a member of.
All right. Because,
ski
yeah,
winter
Well, this was
sports
a myth buster for you.
Yeah, because we do not want that we went to Naltar and all of a sudden there is a guard on the gate and he comes and hey, your name is not on the list, go back. After 15 hours drive, nobody's going back.
really yeah.
So for all the families who are coming in to just witness the festival, what's their procedure? Where do they get to live? So do they have to do it on their own, or would there be people helping them that, okay, this is where you stay, this is where you go, don't cross these lines, so we need to know that.
Yeah.
Very soon there will be a page launched for this Winter Sport Festival 2020 in which all the details, the contact number would be there, and you'll get all the requisite information on that Facebook page, on the page, on the website, and on the contact information.
So जैसे कहते हैं कि सरसरी सा बता दे till the time the page is going
I
to
must
be out and
mention
live.
that we have the messes where we accommodate people, but now as the infrastructure is developing, so there are small hotels also available in Naltar and Malamjaba as well. So people otherwise, even if it's not the ski season, they go there and enjoy, so they can stay there and witness the competitions. And everything.
Yeah, and that's great. So ladies and gentlemen, and you know what, it's always fun to be living at a mess because the bills are just too low, man. You can enjoy all the food, you can enjoy all the tea. And this is one thing, because
Civilians.
yeah, it's all right, it's perfectly fine. But I'm telling you at the same time that all of these officers, they love having a cup of tea. And when they serve that tea in a mess, I think it's the most beautiful thing that you've ever experienced as well.
Our tea is always fantastic.
4 baje ki
Our tea is always fantastic.
Yeah, and that was a point noted as well. But very quickly, for the ladies over here, since you're skiing for a longer period of time now, 15 years down the line as well, and you serving the Air Force as well, you see a lot of people who take inspiration from you as well.
You're
Oh,
role
ma'am, we
models,
want to do
mashallah.
that. Ma'am, we want to do it as well. So how do you kind of motivate or raise the morals of the people who actually want to pursue it as a career as well? What is that piece of advice would you give to people who actually want to do it?
It's a very rare sport. Everyone knows it, and it's kind of very expensive, the equipment and all. But PAF, Pakistan Air Force, in the capacity of Winter Sports Federation, is looking after it very well. I mean, it's almost for free for everyone. So we always expect and we motivate the youth to come and participate in this outdoor healthy activity
Right.
throughout the season. And it's like we tell them, it's not only excitement of speed, it's adventure and thrill. And you see, they have to
Right. It's
get
not just physical, it's also the mental coordination. with it.
mental
It's a proper-
coordination and physical skills, both development of everything.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And what does people at your home have to say about the passion you have adopted? Do they have to say anything? Do they have any
Well,
reservations to that?
No,
कि
not
बर्फ
at all.
में क्या खेलती हो?
No, no.
हाँ, पता है सट लग जैसी वो इस तरह का कोई statement
I've
आता है?
participated in international competitions as well in Iran, China, Japan, and Turkey.
Wow.
So
They must be so proud.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course they do, and they do appreciate.
Wow.
And encourage.
फैमिली वाले होते हैं एकदम
Yeah.
they think like और ये जो आपको वहाँ पे लगती है चोटें वो बाद में फिर पता चलता है
But it's not actually your immediate
not
family.
that
Your
simple.
parents will always support you. Your
Yeah.
siblings will always support you.
Yeah.
But that one puppy from your family will call your parents and be like,
My
"आपकी बेटी
purpose
तो
are
ये
very
करी."
nice. My purpose are very nice. Okay, I think we should do this to purpose out there as well, because purpose can be nice too. My
No,
purpose are very
mine are
nice.
lovely
I don't know
too.
about your purpose.
Mine are lovely,
But my
absolutely.
purpose is really nice.
But here's
ladies
the
and
thing,
gentlemen,
Go
ahead.
on, go on.
You can cover that up right now. Even.
We have a promotional video, ladies and gentlemen, a very small one of this specific festival that is going to take place. Let's
Yeah.
take a look at it and then come back and take, well, closing notes from these people.
Yes, let's do that. I'm having fun. Wow, I'm so looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen, and we
Absolutely.
definitely hope that everybody who's out there who's actually planning a trip, yes, and the best part is that the kids are actually going to get vacations from this Friday onwards. My daughter's going to be free after
Really?
tomorrow.
Yeah.
We planned
So,
it that way.
yeah,
We
so
planned it that way.
I think everybody who's got a day or two off as well, they really need to go and check it out. And it's going to be lovely. It's going to be you feeling as if you're somewhere in Europe, but actually you are in Pakistan as well. And in 2020, Pakistan is actually ranked #1 on top traveling destinations as well, which I think is very lucky for us. And a lot of people are coming in. All we need to do is arms wide open, hug them, and that's what it is. But sir, towards the closing, anything you want to say, anything we might have forgotten to ask, please go ahead. This is your camera.
Everybody is welcome to Naltar,
Yes, sir.
and I would like to use this platform and tell the international audience that Pakistan is beautiful. It's a country with full of loving people, and we have so much to offer. So you're always welcome. There is so much to do in Pakistan, and tourism and sports, whatever you're interested in, the country is all open. The people are very friendly, and there's some good warmth they
Wow.
have.
And that's great.
Absolutely.
And
That's
ladies and
true.
gentlemen, what can be more amazing that they give you skis and the clothes and the gear, everything for free. I
Yeah.
think that's great too as well. Ma'am, anything you want to say to wrap it up?
Well, Winter Sports Federation is really keen to host you. So please come and join us on the slopes and enjoy the speed, thrill, and excitement.
Wow.
Wow.
Wonderful. Ms. Farhan, do you want to say something?
Well, I must say that Pakistani girls who are excelling in every field, so they should come there and dare to do the skiing there. As well.
Exactly. Well, that's great. Thank you very much for being with us. It was wonderful to have you.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for actually enlightening us about this whole event as well. Ladies and gentlemen, while we being
still going.
Pakistanis, yes,
I'm
of
going.
course, well, we being Pakistanis are actually, being so proud and happy of the fact that this is happening in Pakistan. And mashallah, day by day, Shahzad, we are improving on the international spectrum as well. But here's the
Exactly.
thing, in our neighboring country, since 2 or 3 days, there's been a widespread protest going on in so many different parts of the country for this Citizenship Amendment Act that they're adopting sort of. So, Shahzad, what actually baffles me is for the people living inside the so-called free democratic India, they're actually going through so many hardships. Just imagine the people living in the Indian occupied Kashmir.
Yes, and it's been more than
so many
135 days as well.
Imagine that. It's been just so many days and there's no latest news of that. I really hope, ladies and gentlemen, it gets better for them as well. So for all of you out there, if you're watching this, please take a moment to pray for them and pray for their freedom, pray for them to, have their right to self-determination as soon as possible, because this is it. It's high time.
Exactly. And before we go, once again, ladies and gentlemen, since we're going out in 46 different countries right now, so I think that it's your chance to come down to Pakistan and enjoy skiing with us as well. Look after yourselves. Please make sure that you write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of
Well, this morning.
on Twitter,
Well, this morning without a G.
on Daily Motion and GT.
Also, well, this morning.
This fabulous repeat is going to be at
5 past 11 p.m. tonight.
till the next time. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.
Morning. Thank you very much, sir.